Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today in this video we will perform a small setup of Hyper-V servers in two sites and look at how to set up the site-to-site replication for the virtual machine. So in the event of one site goes down, how can we mitigate it and bring the server up on the DR site, right? So I am not going to use a domain environment, so my both the host in the site are going to be in workgroup. So let me open the draw IO first. So this is the architecture. So we are going to use Windows. All servers here we are using is 2019 Data Center Edition. So the one which you see in the center, which is Windows 2019 machine, and it will have the routing and remote access installed and configured. So it will be talking to these two subnets on network 21.50 and 22.50. That's the IP addresses. So basically we'll be talking to 192. I think I should correct this thing. So this is, it should be X, right? So for my understanding, so I have kept it. So these are the two networks, 21 and 22 on the router, and on the left hand side this is our site 1 where I'm using Starwind FreeSAN to configure the storage. So we will have a storage and a Hyper-V host on site 1, and likewise it's the replica on the site 2, where we will have another storage and a Hyper-V host. So this is pretty much about it. So now because I have limited resources, so first of all let's do the quick setup of few things here. So I'm going to power on the two machines in site 1, which is my storage server and the Hyper-V server. So we will do the simultaneous installation. One is the Starwind software installation followed by licensing, and the other one is Hyper-V role on the Hyper-V server. Okay, right. And one more thing, now since everything is in work group, for the replication to work we will have to use the certificate methods. For that I'm going to install the certificate authority on this router, right? Okay, let's see here. Okay, the server are still coming up. So I have all the setup here. So this is the link VM, that is the router, and on the left hand side this is site 1 where I have the Hyper-V host. Let's log in. And the storage server, let's log in here too. Okay, and on the left hand side of the link VM, that is router, we have the storage server and the Hyper-V. Okay, we'll cover the networking part later. First of all, let's install the Hyper-V role on the Hyper-V server. This should take a moment, and in the meantime let's quickly check the network configuration. And yeah, status, so 21.40, that's my site 1 storage server. Okay, alright, I have to bring the software here. Let me go to my repository. Starwind 8 and the license key. Copy them over. Right. Okay, Let's click on add role, server selection, server roles, Hyper-V. Next. Let me also take a look at the networking part. Okay, status 21.30, so 21.30. Right. Okay, next. And I'm not focused on how the VMs are going to communicate outside of the Hyper-V. So for now, I'm not selecting any network. Okay, for now we will just select the default. Once we have the storage server built, then we will reconfigure the location for our virtual disks and the Hyper-V virtual machine configuration. For now, let's keep it default. Next, let's check this box. If a restart is needed, it will restart install. Okay, so the Hyper-V role, it's straightforward, everyone is aware. So since I'm doing the Hyper-V video, so I thought I'll cover it. Let it install. In the meantime, let's unzip the license first, extract. Okay, let's run the setup for StarWind. Everyone can download the free version from StarWind portal, their website, but you need a corporate email address to do that, and it's pretty much free. The only limitation with free version is you have to use command prompt, which is the downside of it. So there is no GUI provision. Okay, that's still installing. They do have some sample of partial scripts available, which you can make use of and create the temporary storages. I think I have added a storage, but let me confirm. No, I have not. That's fine. Okay, so that's license agreement. Right, as I suspected. So after Hyper-V role installation, the server is rebooted. That's fine. Okay, let's install our storage product first. It requires the SCSI service. This will take a while, so we will let it run. Okay. In the meantime, let me see if I can add additional storage here. So, I do have a storage. Let me see if I have configured it. $1744. So, okay. Right, we have the disks available. Let's format it. Okay, that's formatted, and I'm going to create a subfolder in this drive and call it storage. Alright, so our Hyper-V machine is back. Let's log in. Okay, let's see. Okay, there you go. We have our Hyper-V Manager MMC. Let's open it. Oh, okay, it is still configuring. Let me close this guy, so let it finish. Okay, installation succeeded, so we are good with our Hyper-V. Now let's open the Hyper-V Manager and take a look at the initial configuration. Right, okay, so it's auto-connected, the local node. So as you can see here, there are no machines configured. So let me go to Hyper-V setting. So this is the setting. We are going to change it, this default location, once we have our storage server configured. Let me go back in here. Okay, that's still installing. Probably in another minute it will finish. Okay, so we are going to change this location, which I'll give you a walkthrough in a few minutes. In the meantime, let's open the switch manager and create an internal switch. So let's call it VS1, and we are going to use an internal network. Click apply. Click OK. Alright, so our Hyper-V is good. We're just waiting for the last piece, that is our storage. Come on. Our primary server's Hyper-V machines needs most of the memory. So I have allocated 8 gigabytes of memory and 4 CPU to the Hyper-V, so that is identical. For the storage server, I'm just giving minimum memory, that is 2 GB. And for the link VM, that is router, I'm also again giving 2 GB of memory. Taking time. There you go. Awesome. Let's finish this. Let me click yes. Click OK. Starting all the services that are needed. Yeah, like I said, the cluster service, we're not forming any storage cluster here, so we can skip that. Okay, let's click finish and we will launch the Starwind Management Console. Like I said, this license does not cover the GUI mode. You will see a pop-up. There you go. So GUI management is not allowed under this license. So click OK, click yes. Now in the system tray, you can do a right click on the Starwind icon and click on Start Management Console. Anyways, this is just for view. So here you can see the server is configured, but there are no iSCSI target, no storage is configured, and as you can see, everything is grayed out. We can't do much. Now let me copy this path, which we will be using in a script, and open PowerShell IC. Right now, like I said, there are some sample scripts available. So if you go to C program files, Starwind X samples PowerShell, you'll find a bunch of files that you can use. One of them is create image files. So let's open this in PowerShell IC, minimize it. So there you go. So this is the script to create the image file. The name of the image is going to be img. The file path, I'm going to replace it with the storage we have configured. The default size is 12 in MB, so I'm going to make it 42000, that is 42 GB. And it also has the sector size, the cluster size and everything, so we are not going to make any changes there. Just our focal point is the location and the size. Let's execute this script. Okay, so we have a target name created with the IQN plus disk image is also created. So if I go in here, E drive storage, there you go, that's a 41 GB disk. Now if I go to the management console of Starwind, I can see the target and the image associated with it. So right now there are no open iSCSI session to this target. Let's switch to our Hyper-V server. On the Hyper-V machine, open iSCSI initiator, click yes, and type in the IP 192.168.21. I think let's refer to our diagram, so 2140. Let's click on quick connect. Awesome. So our drive is connected. Click OK. Let's open disk manager. There is our disk. Let me bring it online, initialize, and we're going to format it. Okay. Right. So now if I do a refresh, you can see a session which is from HV1, that is our Hyper-V server. Okay, so there is our disk. Now let's go back to our Hyper-V. Like I mentioned, we are going to change the default location of the hard disks. So I'm going to get rid of this part and say E:/. Likewise for this guy, this part, I'm going to say E:/. Right, so this is the virtual hard disk location and this is the machine configuration, virtual machine configuration. Click apply. Okay, there goes our Hyper-V disks, and here goes our virtual machine configuration files. Right, so that pretty much about Hyper-V installation and configuration of the storage. Let me now shut down these two servers first. Shut down, and I'll have to shut down. I'm shutting down the Hyper-V host because I have to adjust the memory on the storage server. Okay, let me shut down the storage server as well. Right, so now our Hyper-V role on both the site HB1, let me open the diagram, that's better. Yeah, so Hyper-V role on both the sites are installed. The storage server on both the sites are installed, and we have configured the LUNs which are presented to their local host, local Hyper-V host, that is from SAN1 to Hyper-V1 and SAN2 to Hyper-V2. Our only part remaining is our routing. So let's first finish the routing part. So this is the link VM is my router, Windows router. So let me show you the network configuration first. So I'm using two NIC cards here. The first one is of subnet 192.168.21, and the second one is of course the other network, that is my site 2 network, which is 192.168.22. Okay, now let's install the role first. Server role, remote access, next. We need only routing, next, install, restart if needed. So on this Windows router, we are going to install two roles. One is the remote access for routing, and the second one will be certificate authority to generate the certificate for use with Hyper-V replication configuration. Okay, so while this is installing, let me adjust the memory of my storage server to GB. Alright. Okay, while this is installing, we can power on our servers. Power on both the sides, right? So I'm going to power on the storage servers first. The storage servers on both the sides I'm powering on while we are installing the remote access role on the Windows router. Okay. KVS. Right, both our storage servers are up. KVS. We don't need the server manager, we just need to confirm our storage is connected. Let's take a look at the management console. Connect. That's okay. Alright, our image is available on site 1 storage. Let me confirm the same on the site 2. Connect. Okay. Our site 2 storage is also connected. We are good. So this is configured. Let's close it. Here, if I come in here and I will see routing and remote access. So click on it. It's open. The server is currently shows as down. So to right click and configure enable remote routing. Next. So what I'm going to do, right? So secure connection between two private networks. That's what our intention is. Next. No, I don't need it. Next. And finish. Okay, so our routing and remote access is configured. So we did it from here. As you can see here, my server is up now. And it has two interfaces, so basically they can talk to each other. Now let's minimize it. Now from the router, we'll try to ping both the networks. Ping 192.168.21.40, which is my storage server on site 1. Which is my Hyper-V on site 1. And now let's do this 22, that is site 2 Hyper-V, and 40 is my site 2 storage server. So our router is able to talk to both the sites. Now from our Hyper-V 1 server, it is important that we should be able to reach to Hyper-V 2. Right, so ping 192.168.22.30. That's my Hyper-V host on site 2. So if I ping, it's of course is a failure. So let's open the command cpa.cpl, and on my NIC card let's add the gateway, that is 50. Click OK, click OK here. Right, now let's see if we are able to ping. It's still not reachable because previously it was general failure, but now it's hitting the link VM, that is our router, but our router doesn't know where the packet to be sent to. So on the Hyper-V2 host, let me configure the gateway as well. Properties, network 192.168.22.50. Click OK. Alright, now let's take a look. Come on. Perfect. So our Hyper-V1 on site 1 is able to reach to the Hyper-V2 on site 2 via the router. So our connection is now established. Likewise we can configure for storage, but in this lab we are not doing any storage level replication, so we can leave that part. Our main focus is these two servers should be able to talk via the router. That objective is met. Now the last piece is remaining, which is certificate authority. So let's go back in here and we will install another role. Server role, Active Directory certificate service. Next, click next, next, next. We need the certificate authority and the web enrollment. Come on. Yeah, click add feature. Okay, yeah. Certificate authority and web enrollment. Click next. Restart if necessary. Click yes. I doubt it requires a restart. Okay, so now this is the secondary side. So once I click on Hyper-V settings, now why am I installing the certificate authority? That you all must be curious, right? So when I go to the DR site, which is HV2 Hyper-V server, if I go to replication configuration and I click on enable replication or configure this as a replica server, I have two options, right? One is use Kerberos and the other one is certificate service. Now since it's a work group environment, so of course I cannot use Kerberos, so I'm going to use certificate based. Now once I do that, if I click on certificate, it couldn't find a certificate. There are two ways to do it. One is use the self-signed certificate, but I thought, let's do it differently. Let's configure the certificate authority. We'll have it issue the certificate and do the thing, right? And this certificate needs to be on both the sides. What we can try is, now let me click in here. So if you click here, you will see what are the requirements. The certificate should not be expired. It should have both client and server authentication, EKU, and a valid root certificate, plus the DNS name or the subject alternate name should have HV2. So instead of creating two certificates, we will see if we can create one SAN certificate. Now for that, let's cancel this guy while our certificate authority is getting installed. So let's open MMC. Open. Now this is a workgroup environment. I'm not sure if it is going to work or not, but let's give it a try. So select certificate, computer account, finish, click OK. Now let's do right click, all task, under personal advanced, create a custom certificate request. Next, go ahead with the default. Properties, give it a name, let's say SAN or Hyper-V REPL. Now under this common name I'm going to add HV1 and HV2, so that covers both. Now under DNS, this is for alternate name, HV1 and HV2, right? That should do, I hope. HV1 and HV2. Okay, now the key usage. So we are going to use digital signature, and EKU will be server authentication plus client authentication. That's all we need here. Now on the private key, for key options, I'm going to make it private key should be exportable. Click apply. Okay, now let's generate the request. Let's do it here under C drive, cert. Let's give it a name, Hyper-V REPL request. Save, finish. Okay, so as of now, as you can see here, it's empty. There are no certificates. Let's minimize this guy. Okay, back here. Cool. So our certificate part is installed. Let's close this guy, minimize it, and we will now configure our certificate authority. Let's finish the final bit of it. Click next. Certificate authority and web enrollment. We need both the components. Next, it's a standalone. Of course, it's a root and new tree. We will just go with the default. That's the distinguished name of the root's authority server in the certificate, so let's keep it default and configure. Okay, that's perfect. Close it. Now one thing I have to do is get Chrome in here. Copy. Paste. Okay, our RS is configured, so let me close that console. Our ping is working, so let's close that guy as well. Alright, come on. Okay, in the meantime, let me open MMC on the server. Right? And open Certificate Authority Manager. Certificate Authority, local computer, finish, click OK. So this is my certificate authority. So now, is there any pending request? Nothing. Revoked, all empty. Okay. Let's minimize it. Right, Chrome is installed. Don't sign in. Yeah, mark it as default. It's my default browser. Alright, so now let's get in. HTTP localhost search server. Nope, I think I typed in wrong. Device manager. Site default cert SRV. Look at that. SRV. Perfect. So our certificate authority is working. Now we will request a certificate. So let's click on request a certificate, click on advance. Here we have to key in the 192, the request file info 168.22.30. $. Right, so user, no, my bad, sorry, assert, this is the request file, notepad, click OK. Right, let's copy the info, paste it in here, click submit. Okay, it says wait for 2 days, the standard, right? So let's come in here. Now if I come here, I see the pending request, right? So I'm now issue the certificate. So the certificate is issued. So if I come in here, I can see the certificate. So let me double click. So you can see it was issued to HV1, HV2, and this is the one. Certificate path looks good. If I see here it's subject alternate name, I have both the server name plus my SAN also has both the names. So technically this certificate should work on both the servers. Let's close it. Let's go back in here. We do go back and download the certificate. So here, download. This is my certificate, roots certificate. This is my root. Let's go back in here. Nope. View status. And then click on this. So I can download the certificate. So let's click on download certificate. Again, so this is my client cert. Okay, now let's copy these 2 certificates and go to each server. Cert. Paste in here. And we copy this folder over to the other server. Oops, my bad. Okay, go in here. Come on. Why is that? Copy? No, paste is not working. Never mind. We'll do the other round. 192.168.22.30/$. Right. Copy and paste. Alright, so now let's install both the certificates. First we'll install the root certificate, local machine, next, and we're going to put it in the trusted root container. Click OK, next, finish. That is installed. Let's also install the client certificate. So this is going to be on the personal store. Personal, click OK, next, finish, installed. Let's double click on the certificate and validate. So details looks good, certificate looks good, and this is the certificate name, so this is absolutely fine, I think so. Alright, so the certificate is valid here in HV1, that is on this server of site 1. Let's install it on site 2 as well. First the root certificate, local machine, next, trusted root, click OK, next, finish, perfect, install, local machine, next, place it in the personal, click OK, finish, install, double click on the certificate just to validate. This is one way of validating. The other way is we can go to MMC. Now if I do a refresh here, I should see the certificate. There you go. and on the trusted root I should see the certificate, which is the root. Okay, now my certificates are installed, so let's go back our Hyper-V manager. Let me close this, guys. Click OK. We no longer need it. Not this. Okay, so now let's go to the Hyper-V settings, replication, enable replication, use certificate. If I click on select, as you can see here, it's populating the certificate. So click view, it's showing me the correct certificate. So let's click OK, and we are going to use our replica server. So let's specify the replica server, the primary server, which is going to be HV1 group 1. Click OK, apply. Right, now you might encounter this error which is talking about certificate check revocation because the revocation server is offline. Now to get rid of this is because it's in a workgroup environment, I assume, and the server is not able to query the CA server. So to get past this situation, we can override it using the registry. Let's do that. So HK local machines, software, Microsoft, Windows NT, current version, virtualization. Under virtualization we have replication, and the replication disable certificate revocation check. It's default to 0, so we will enable this feature that do not do the revocation check. So this is done. Now if I click apply, there you go, looks good. Click OK, and our application on the DR side is configured. Let's do the same on the other side as well. So first open registry, let me close this, guys. Okay, local machine, software, Microsoft, Windows NT. Let me maximize this guy. Current version, virtualization, replication, disable certificate revocation 1. Click OK, close the registry, open Hyper-V manager, go to Hyper-V settings, replication, enable replication. It has detected the certificate, so the primary will be HV2 group 1. Apply. So looks like this certificate is not going to work in here. It's because oh, my bad. I'd remove snap-in, certificate, add computer account. local, finish. Yeah, there is no private key associated to this certificate. So let's try this the other way around. On this guy, NMC, open task, export. Yes, export the private key. Next. And let's give it a password 123 123. Next, we use a file path cert. So it's a HV1 private key. Next, finish. Export is successful. Let's go in here and cert. There you go. Install this key. Current machines. Next. That's fine. Whoa. I think something went wrong in here. Yeah. Next. 1, 2, 3. Mark this key as exportable. Next. Place it in the personal store. Next. Finish. Click OK. Let's take a look at our MMC now. There you go. Now it has a key. Now it should technically work. Okay, select certificate. That's good. And click apply. Perfect. Awesome. So we have configured the replication. Okay. Alright, now our application is configured. So let's create a virtual machine. Next. So VM1. Next. I'm just going to create a default. So VS1 as the switch. Let's give it the minimum 5 GB. Next, and finish. Okay, so I might have to give it a different name. VM2, right? Finish. Okay, at this point our VM is, there is a VM on site 1 which is running. Okay, now we haven't safeguarded this VM by replicating a copy of it to the other node, right? So in the event of any failure on this VM, we do not have any resiliency. So to do that, to achieve that, we have the Hyper-V replication. So we can do a right click and enable replication, or under action menu we can click on enable replication, which is down here, right? So once we click on it, click next. So the replica for this virtual machine is going to be HV2. Next. So it will only detect the certificate. Next, and finish. So now a copy of the switch machine is created here. Okay, let's come back here, and if I see in the replication tab, I'll see which is the primary server, that is this virtual machine is running, and which is the replica. Okay, let's power off this server and we will do a replication. Let's say something went wrong with this VM. and we will do a failover. So we want to proceed with the failover or run it from the secondary side. So do a failover. And the failover is complete. Now after the failover is complete, as you can see here, it's still the primary server is 1, but that is not the case. Now the healthy state of the virtual machine is on site 2. So we want to reverse the replication from this site to the other. So we go to replication and reverse the replication. Click next. So now for this server, HV1 is going to be the replica. Click next, and select finish. Okay, it says it failed to authorize the connection. If I delete this guy, come in here. There you go. So now the virtual machine is running on site 2 and we have created a copy. So initially it was running on site 1, wherein because of some reason the virtual machine got corrupt. We cannot recover it, so we resumed our business from site 2. Now we have to replicate the healthy VM from site 2 to site 1. So let's say we get rid of this virtual machine here first, and then from here we do a reverse replication. Now if you see here, the difference is now the primary server for this virtual machine is HV2 and the replica is HV1. So that is what the basic principle of Hyper-V replication is. I hope you enjoyed this video. There were some errors, so we rectified them, and I hope especially the certificate part you find it new and helpful if you are doing the similar lab in your environment. Thank you. Have a good day.